Hey everyone, guess what's back?
Glorious. No, I won't give in till I'm victorious.
Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we are back with another brand new video. Today's video, as you can tell by the deliciously clickbaity title, we're here to do a little cleanup on potential outgoings from the Glasgow Rangers. And as always, before we dive into the video, just a friendly reminder in case you haven't done so already, you haven't hit that subscribe button, please consider doing so and help the nation get to 25,000 subscribers. 9 days ago we hit 24k, we are knocking at the door at 25k already. That's unbelievable support and I can't thank you guys enough. Let's finish the job, let's go. And without any further ado, let's dive into today's video then, shall we? 3, 2, 1. Story number 1, and it's going to be about the man himself, Big Joe Worrell. Sort of splits the fan base right down the middle, if I'm honest with you. Some people love him, some people hate him. Me personally, I think he's a tough, no-nonsense centre-back by day, Catwoman by night. All joking aside, Joe Worrell joined from Nottingham Forrest on a season-long loan as long as we met a minimum of 15 games by January. That is what's been reported. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Joe Worrell has played 17 games in total, 15 in the league, 2 in the cup, meaning 17. Which plays an important factor if the news that's broke today is going to be believed. Nottingham Forest Post, I believe that's pronounced, is running a story that Martin O'Neill, yes, that one, the only guy I've ever been mad at for doing the bounty, he is reportedly wanting to bring Joe Worrell back to the football club because of their centre-back problems. Obviously, it was announced as the manager a couple of days ago and he's been evaluating the squad. And if I'm honest with you, we've had some problems with injuries. Nottingham Forest in the centre-back positions just absolutely disgusting. Pretty much everyone's gone. One other player suspended and Alliance one booking away from suspension. They've basically got no one left, and apparently Martin O'Neill thinks it's a strange decision that Joe Worrell was obviously loaned out in the first place, given that he was a subject of a test. In fact, it was £11 million that they were actually offered from Burnley, which is even scarier to think about. From a business perspective, that you were offered that amount of money, you reject it, then you loan him out for free to another club. It doesn't really make sense from a business standpoint, and Martin O'Neill apparently doesn't like the deal and he wants to bring him home. But unfortunately for them, as previously mentioned, the man has played the minimum amount of games to trigger his loan to the end of the season. That's probably why he played so many games, in fact, in the first half of the season. When we were questioning saying why is Katic not playing, it's probably for scenarios like this. Now again, nothing has been officially confirmed by either club. However, it has been heavily rumoured that one, if Nottingham Forest do want him back, they're going to have to pay out whatever the loan agreement value would be to the end of the season, which may be quite nice or easy. Or if they can just convince Rangers out the kindness of their heart to rip up the loan deal and send the man home, which might sound absolutely crazy. Like, why would you actually do that when you're challenging for a title, playing your centre half who's played the second most out of everyone in the first half of the season? Why would you do that? The fact that Joe Worrell is a massive, and I mean massive, Nottingham Forest fan may actually play an important part in this transfer scenario, because as much as we love Rangers, that's what he feels for Nottingham Forest. He's already came out and said that in an interview. They talked about what's the chances of he joining Rangers or anything like that at the end of the season. He says, no, my future lies with Nottingham Forest. That's his team and I'm not going to judge him for that. That's completely fine. But the fact remains, if he's got so much love for him, and if he's hearing this news, and if Forest obviously come and speak to Rangers and Rangers reject it, he could simply walk into the office, chap, open the door, walk right up to Steven Gerrard's face and simply say, I just want to play football for Forest, you know. I don't know why he sounds like Rossiter, but we'll continue with the story for the point of view. He may just say that, and that could force Rangers in hand to cut ties and send the man back to Nottingham Forest. Now let's actually talk about Joe Worrell during the first half of the season, because if I'm honest with you, I've had a few complaints about him on the channel, if you follow it. Some strange performances. But when you think about it, in the entirety of his Rangers career so far, the bigger the game, the bigger the performance. His first ever match was against Villarreal. Yes, he did score within 16 seconds, I get you. But the rest of the game, I thought he was solid, dealing with one of the most expensive players that he will probably ever play against. And then from there he had hits and misses and miss and miss. It's sort of the games that we're expected to win. It doesn't necessarily perform to the best of his ability. That might just be concentration, or that just might be a lack of consistency. But I thought right at the end of the first half of the season, the Hibernian game, I thought he was absolutely solid as a rock, strong, commanding, tough, no nonsense. In the Celtic game, that times two, I thought he was absolutely outstanding, fearless. He never lost nothing, no a header, no a tackle. He absolutely crunched someone, like flipped a Celtic boy inside, got back up, shouted at him, ran back to the centre-back spot. That is what he can do when he's fully concentrated and he's zoned. And if we can get that on a consistent basis throughout the entirety of the second half of the season, that may play an important part towards 55. So If I'm honest with you, if you'd asked me this question 2 months ago, I'd have seen like, yeah, send him back, I'm fine with that, cool, play Katic. But now that I've seen that performance against Celtic and seen what the man can really do, I'm thinking to myself, we may reject this and try and keep Mr. Joe Worrell. And listen, I'm going to interrupt myself because even I am shocked that I've actually said that, but the fact remains I'm seeing more positives than would be negatives to sort of weaken a centre-back spot, especially when we're challenging for a title. So I'm going to say no, and yes, Chris Tarrant, that is my final answer. But what is yours? Make sure you let me know in the comment section below. I need to know your thoughts and opinions on Joe Worrell, because I know for a fact so many people's going to say, Craig, you're an idiot. Yes, send him back, he's been minced. But then there's going to be other people defending him. That is what it's all about. It's fans' opinions. Get yours in the comment section below. Now, I asked Twitter, and I have no idea how this is actually going to go. So let's jump over and see what the people had to say there. Let me get it loaded up. Kept it in the dark so I didn't see it. Right, okay, 566 votes. There's still a lot of time remaining, so thank you so much for getting there early and getting your votes in. 29% of people votes for yes, they would send them back, but 71% of the people votes for no. Yes, finally, Twitter. We're here again. We're here. Anyway, let's read out what the people's actually had to say. Suzanne chips in with, let Worrell go back and get Katic playing again. Okay, Suzanne, not really the first comment I was expecting. 55 is a default. Says, if we do get another centre-back in over the window, then yes, Katic is good enough. We all know he can be better than Worrell. However, a refund on the loan fee and a recall charge should be agreed if this does not happen. Rock and Roll Elvis says, I'd let him go. Don't think he's come up to our standards. Looks shaky and not too commanding. It would be on the fact that the manager brings in a replacement first, though. David says, not that first, but because it's that tramp asking, then we should keep him. Callum Bruce says, I'm not that bothered, so let Joe decide, then go from there. Ross Watson says, he's really stepped up in the last few games. I'd keep him, only reserved to Wallace though. Wallace should play centre-back. Wallace. Woosa, fine. Jackson says he only wants him back because he's at Rangers. Thomas McGill says, if you can find another replacement and get some money of it, then definitely. Jambo GTR says, unless we have another backup, I'd say no. Less centre mids, more centre backs. Watson says it's going to take cash for him to cancel. Just wondering what sort of figures we would actually be talking. Very fair. And the last one we'll have to read out comes from Bang. We'll stop it right here. David Kelly says, let Worrell go back, put in an offer for Hockett at Livingston with Hardie back on loan to the end of the season as a tidy little extra. Well, David, I'd be pretty happy with that. Hockett's actually available on a pre-contract right now. But that is going to be it for story number 1. Joe Worrell has been discussed. Can we just see that picture one more time as well? Fantastic, Joe. Fantastic. Did I just go to clap and even fail at that? I'm shite. Story number 2 then, and the transfer outgoings just continue with Dundee still trying to negotiate with Glasgow Rangers and getting Glen Kamara from them to Rangers in January. Now, I'm not really sure how these talks are going, but the fact that they're sort of doing like a football manager style thing and saying, right, we'll give you the player that you've already signed if you give us Ross Mccrorie on loan. That was the first offer. They wanted Ross Mccrorie for Glen Kamara. That's like having a Ferrari and swapping it for a Kia. I'm kidding. I know how good Glen Kamara can be, but Rossi is my guy, so I will defend him to the hilt. That was swiftly, and I mean swiftly, rejected by the Glasgow Rangers as a football club. That deal will not be happening. And then Dundee wasn't done there. However, they did come back with a different offer, forgetting about Ross Mccrorie and saying, right, we'll take Ryan Hardie. Now, if the story is to be believed, and the rumours are to believe that it wasn't Rangers that rejected this deal, it was actually Ryan Hardie, because his preferred loan destination is actually going back to Livingston. And if I'm honest with you, that's story number 2 actually done. It's very short and to the point, but I just wanted to bring you the news that dropped just to see what your thoughts and opinions are on Glen Kamara. Do we even need to bring him in January? I understand from a Dundee perspective, they're scrapping so hard to stay in the top flight of Scottish football. I get that. They want to get rid of a player who obviously wants to come and join the Glasgow Rangers and strengthen. I understand. But from a Rangers perspective, I don't think centre mid is an urgent place we need today. So I don't think we should pay any money in January. And I don't think we should be giving a player away of the calibre of Ross Mccrorie or even Ryan Hardie to a situation that's not going to suit him. And yeah, my heat's pickled with this one. I just didn't see the urgency in bringing in Glen Kamara. But if you do, make sure you let me know in the comment section below. Do we need Glen Kamara in January? Now, before we finish the video off with story number 3, grab your refreshments, everyone. That's right, the intro's back, and so is the sponsor break. So grab your refreshments. 3, 2, 1. Sponsor break. Man, I've no drank for like 6 days. That was needed. And now we've reached the third and final part of today's video, and it's going to be about Carlos Pena. That's right, we finally have an update on the Carlos Pena situation, and it actually came from the man himself. I'm going to list this interview, by the way, in the description below if you want to read the full thing. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Not only does he talk about the Rangers' future, which we will be discussing in today's video, but he talks about his ongoing battle with his alcohol addiction and how that sort of affected his life and why he's not giving up on his football career. I thought this interview was very, very good. You can hate the guy, you can meme the guy if you want, but he's clearly a guy with a lot of talent who lost his way and he's battling his way back. I thought this was absolutely brilliant. So again, the full interview will be down in the description below. And again, we're not going to read out him talking about his battle with addiction because it's not really well placed in today's video. We're just going to be focusing on his actual footballing part. So we're actually going to jump over to about halfway down the actual article, and this is what he's had to say involving his playing career. I want to continue playing football. I am only 28 and I want another chance. Whether that is at Rangers or is in Turkey or Poland, I don't know. I have until January the 31st to make my mind up. There are clubs in Mexico who are interested in me, and it names both the clubs, but I'm not going to try and butcher the names because I couldn't get anywhere close to it. It continues by saying, I only want the best club for me and I will take my time to decide my next career move. What's important to me are my family and friends. People who I really consider to be friends and family have all stuck by me. Others have disappeared, but I knew I had people surrounding me who would not be with me in difficult times because they were only interested in the fame and money. And that is where we're going to end the quotes there. So it's very interesting. He's sort of kind of saying the ball is in his court where he actually goes, whether it is at Glasgow Rangers, Turkey, which we've discussed previously in the channel. There's a couple of options in Mexico, and Poland's obviously a destination that is available for him. So now you know a wee bit more about the Carlos situation. Where do you stay? Would you like him to stay at Rangers and fight for his place, or do you think it's best that the man moves on to a different place, a different surrounding, and see if he can rebuild his footballing and life somewhere else? That's going to be the end of today's video. If you have enjoyed it, make sure to be hitting that like button. It definitely helps the channel out and helps others find it. If you would like to support the channel directly, the link for that will be in the description below to the Patreon, where we are up to 41 Patreons. Can't you thank you guys and legends enough? I've been CJ Nova 92. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.